TheBefriendingProject.com is an opportunity to learn to use simple techniques to relax as a way of befriending ourselves and everyone whose life is somehow touched by us. Befriending is the verb, the thing we can actually do, that leads to the noun, the thing we can enjoy, peace.
Playing with words through the
There's
word
good
of the
science
week
to
is
back
a
up the
response
idea
to
that
the
our state
pressures
of
we all
mind is
feel of not
contagious.
having enough time.
Our body
It's the
language
rare
reveals what
person
our
who has the
words
luxury of
cannot
the
and
time
often do not
required for formal
express.
mantra
Search
repetition
the
of
internet
traditional
and you'll
yoga.
find plenty of
Most
scientific
of us
research
do,
on the
though,
effects of
have
body
the time to
language,
play with a new
positive
word, the
psychology,
novelty of
and
which will
nonverbal
echo in our mind
communication.
and heart
You'll
if it
find a
speaks to
wealth of
something
information to
meaningful and
support the
relevant.
notion that we
If
can learn
that's the
to
case,
shift our
the word and the
neurochemistry and
unique
brain
meaning it
function
evokes in
through
us repeats
relaxation
itself on
and
its own.
meditation.
The word, it
In
seems,
some
follows
cases,
us
measurable
around
signs of
effortlessly.
relaxing occur instantly, and other changes in our brain are seen over time as a result of ongoing practice. There's also a large body of data suggesting that our emotional state affects others without us even speaking a word. That these changes can be measured suggests we're connected to each other in ways we might never have imagined. No longer is it reasonable to make the claim that I'm just one person and don't matter to the big picture. We are the big picture, all of us, together. You and your happiness matter to the world you come in contact with every day. This site exists to offer out tools that can help you relax and help you learn some simple, on-the-spot techniques that you can use to shift the default setting of your brain and body to one of peace and ease by using your breath, images, and attention to your inner dialogue. I've been studying and practicing these techniques since 1994 and have been a professional contagious agent of peace in my work as a full-time yoga instructor and public speaker for the past 10 years. In over 50,000 hours of contact time with students in classes and participants in workshops, I've seen firsthand the power of these techniques, which are primarily the breathing and focusing activities and exercises of yoga, stripped of the challenging pretzel-type poses, which you can find in your local gym and on other websites if that's what you're looking to explore.
This site distills the accessible practices of yoga and meditation, and in addition includes the use of a single thought-provoking English word to create positive change. This is not a part of the yoga tradition. Historically, in the yoga tradition, when words are deliberately used to evoke change, it's done through a technique called mantra repetition. This requires the deliberate repetition of a word or phrase tens of thousands of times to bring some hidden conundrum to the surface of the mind. The intention of the word of the week is to offer a much quicker alternative, to bring about an immediate new understanding, a new perspective, a new way of seeing ourself and the world. This paradigm shift happens instantly upon considering either an old word in a new way or a brand new word that touches something inside of us and wakes it up. Playing with words through the word of the week is a response to the pressures we all feel of not having enough time. It's the rare person who has the luxury of the time required for formal mantra repetition of traditional yoga. Most of us do, though, have the time to play with a new word, the novelty of which will echo in our mind and heart if it speaks to something meaningful and relevant. If that's the case, the word and the unique meaning it evokes in us repeats itself on its own. The word, it seems, follows us around effortlessly.
This playing with words called Word of the Week, a single ing word, a present participle, is motivated and inspired by the thousands of conversations I've had with students after class. These students are often just as positively affected by a word or an idea as they are by a stretch, a balance, or a pose. The words, they tell me, echo in their heads and motivate and inspire them to treat themselves in a healthier way. A mantra, in the traditional sense, is designed to be repeated intentionally and deliberately, whereas our word of the week will most likely go ahead and repeat itself, echoing in your mind like the proverbial bug in a bonnet. It'll either be a familiar word used in an unfamiliar way or an invented word designed to shift your awareness because of its novelty. The word is designed to both entertain you and to get you thinking, uncovering a riddle in you that wants to be solved. It does not pretend to be filled with wisdom or be able to answer questions for you. Answering those big questions in your life, well, that's your job. Quite conveniently, both university research and the internet have in the same time frame intersected to both allow the development of a website such as this an easy opportunity for you to check with the internet to confirm anything I might toss out as scientifically proven fact. I have both the luxury of not having to include fancy footnotes and book references, and the clear duty and obligation to be accurate and up to date with my fact tossing if I expect you to trust what is being presented and return for future visits. The Befriending Project website offers you short, simple, universally accessible tools and techniques to help you feel focused, happy, and peaceful. This will allow you to bring forth your unique, optimal, positive response to the challenges you experience every day. When we're relaxed, we see more clearly what's before us and inside of us, and we can respond creatively in the midst of obstacles that would otherwise frustrate and limit us. In this way, we can participate in win-win decision making and serve both ourselves and the greater good at the same time. Rather than sunsets, waterfalls, and soft music, it's our positive response to ongoing challenges that creates the basic building blocks of peace, a peace that we each can choose to contribute to. Peace, yours, mine, and the world's, isn't going to just happen spontaneously. It needs to be nurtured, much in the same way that friendship is nurtured, with commitment, time, space, acceptance, and love. In working with people from ages 5 to 85 of every race, religion, and socioeconomic group, from business professionals and self-made millionaires to kids in a detention center, retired people, stay-at-home parents, folks recovering from brain surgery and cancer, those who run marathons, and those who've lost a limb and run anyway, there's absolutely no doubt in my mind that you, like all human beings who can listen and respond to simple instructions, can learn to access your very best, which includes your affinity for peace. There's a reason that these techniques have been around for thousands of years and are now withstanding the rigors of scientific scrutiny. They work. Think of this site as an on-call 24/7, 365 or 6 personal coach that will both teach you tools and techniques as well as offer ongoing support on how to stay relaxed, focused, and energized. And like an art teacher, the site shows you how to use the paintbrush you already have, knowing that it is you who will paint the picture of what you want your life and the world you live in to become. Just like a competitive athlete or a dedicated artist, you're going to have to show up and do some work just about every day. Starting out with 5 minutes, read the post and participate in one of the activities offered. This will be significantly more effective than just visiting once a week and going through all the activities when the post appears in your email. You'll enjoy the most success by doing a little something every day so that through repetition, these techniques become easier and easier for you and become a habit. One of the things students often share with me is that people who know them, family, friends, and coworkers, notice changes in them. What might be a subjective experience for you, that you feel calmer or more at ease, more energized, will in fact be noticed by those who don't even know you're doing something new, befriending yourself with these simple practices. I hope you'll share this site with anyone and everyone you know who could benefit from learning some simple techniques and tools to relax and energize themselves. This site is an invitation to a simple strategy, but it does not pretend to be a quick fix. For a new habit requires repetition, thousands of repetitions in fact. It's a numbers game, and those numbers are what in my mind has in the past created obstacles to these techniques, which are part of the oral tradition which cannot be read but must be heard, not being more widely known and utilized. Enter a blog such as this with media imports and the obstacles, time, money, and effort, vanish in an instant via the almost effortless lightning-like speed through which information travels through the World Wide Web. Many years ago, people would make the long journey by foot to the snow-capped mountains of the Himalayas, then spend an undetermined amount of time, years perhaps, sweeping a potential teacher's cave or preparing their meals in order to learn what were then esoteric, hidden, secret teachings. Fast forward through human history a few millennia, and the techniques and tools have made their way halfway around the world and back, taking the form of any number of relaxation and focusing techniques that have their roots in Eastern practices. Now, many of these same techniques are being scrutinized in a large number of research institutions in the West, validating the claims that the gurus in the mountaintop caves have been espousing. Peace can be cultivated by any individual willing to put in the time and the effort. A website such as this drastically reduces that time and effort so that what remains is simply a matter of choosing. Like laughter and yawning, our peace is contagious. Our inclination to want peace and to befriend ourselves is part of our human nature. The question is no longer, are we contagious, but rather, what are we willing to spread? An easy picture to hold, if you're so inclined, is of a few people like you and me sitting by our computers and smartphones. We are each of us breathing and focusing just like the students and the sages in the Himalayas, and just like those in the research labs traveling through MRIs and hooked up to EEGs and having their blood tested and proving that this stuff works. We can climb aboard the ship that's already sailing towards a peaceful horizon and join the millions of people who are already proving that peace is possible. Or we can sit back and pretend we can't make a difference and aren't part of the solution that's so close at hand. We can continue to be misled into believing that the bad news we see on television and the internet is an accurate picture of what the whole of humanity is. We are, of course, free to allow ourselves the feeling of being doomed, stressed out, and think there's nothing we can do about the situation, ours and the world's, whatever it may be. We can continue to do nothing and feel tense and hold tight to the short fuse that sends our amygdala into fight and flight mode, creating not only stress and tension, but eventually chronic muscle and joint pain, in addition to stress-borne illnesses like heart disease, high blood pressure, and type 2 diabetes, and who knows what else. Or we can instead participate in a revolution and choose to be part of a pandemic of peace. A pandemic that starts with the act of taking time for ourselves, befriending ourselves, and allowing ourselves to become contagious agents of peace. I hope you'll join us. There are already millions of people doing this humble and simple work. The tipping point to peace, our peace, is closer than we realize. I invite you to hold on to the vision of this peace, our peace, which is just a breath away.